This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, September the 3rd. Please stand for our invocation led by Chaplain Bobby Brown, Mobile Police Department, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
May we bow and pray. Father God, we come today not asking you for anything, but thanking you for everything. We thank you, Father, for this moment of talking to you today. We thank you for the blessing of waking us up and finding food on our table and clothes in our closet. We thank you, Father, for having the ability to make us happy when we are sad and heal us when we are sick. We thank you, God, for everything that we have. Now, God, at this time, we come asking nothing but giving blessings to each other. In the precious, uplifting name of Jesus, we pray, and the people of God said, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
President Small.
Here.
Vice President Gregory. Here. Councilmember Penn.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Councilmember Woods.
Here.
Statement of rules.
And good morning, everyone. It's good to see everybody this morning. Welcome to our September 3rd meeting 2024. At this meeting, we do have rules. At this time, I ask if anyone have any type of electronic device, including cell phones, please at this time put on the off for the vibrate position, the off for the vibrate position. Any person that is desiring to address the Mobile City Council must sign in indicating the ordinance, the resolution, a public hearing agenda item before entering the meeting. When addressing the council, the speaker must give his or her name. Any person that is desiring to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must sign in to the city clerk's office no later than Thursday prior to the council meeting by 2:00 p.m. The subject that he or she wishes to express to the Mobile City Council must be identified pertaining to the city of Mobile business. Anyone who has not given proper notice to the city clerk's office and wishes to speak on a non-agenda item in the proper time will not be allowed to address the council. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address the council. A bell will sound at the end of 2 minutes, indicating that you have 1 minute to summarizing. The second bell indicates that your time has expired. When addressing the council, there will be no personal address to any individual council members. All statements are to be made to the chair, who will recognize any council member who form. There will be no undue applause and or public outcry allowed. Madam Clerk.
Approval of minutes of August the 27th.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Communications from Mayor Stimson.
Good morning. It's good to see all of my guests here today. Thank you for coming. My first remarks have to do with the new exhibit, which is at the National Maritime Museum of the Gulf of Mexico, formerly known as GulfQuest. This exhibit is dedicated to the many spectacular ships that have plied our waters, coming into the Port of Mobile, actually going back as far as 300 years. The title of the exhibit is Combat to Commerce, and it's the first of a series of exhibits that will highlight the dynamic maritime history of the Gulf of Mexico. It includes ships that brought the early European explorers to Mobile, the German U-boats that plagued our ports in World War II, and the modern-day container vessels that are among the 14 vessels that have been recreated through beautiful and detailed models. You can learn more about Combat to Commerce and plan to see it for yourself by visiting. I'm going to give you the initials, but it's like the National Maritime Museum of the Gulf of Mexico, but it's N's and M's and all, but it's nmmog.org. So if you go there, you can find out more about it. Another announcement has to do with Helios. The City of Mobile and Helios Alliance will host a community meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m., September 4th, at the Innovation Portal. We will be there to discuss the upcoming RFP process for allocating the opioid settlement funds. Earlier this summer, we contracted the Helios Alliance to conduct a data-driven analysis to determine how best to distribute the $2.2 million that the city has received from opioid-related lawsuits. They will develop and manage a comprehensive RFP process focusing on 4 priority areas: on treatment, prevention, survival programs, and communications. Those interested in applying for opioid settlement funds and members of the public are invited. Again, that's going to be at the Innovation Portal at 10 a.m. And at that meeting, we'll explain the data-driven system that they'll be used to evaluate your possible proposal. And we want to hear from all organizations that are working to address this crisis in our community. So I hope you can be there tomorrow. I have 2 proclamations, and there should be a lot of those that are in the audience here to receive one of them, and that has to do with the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And for those who are here for that, you can come to the podium, and I will read the proclamation, and then I have a second proclamation to read, and then we can all exit after that and have our picture made out in front of the steps in the atrium. But those that are here should include Jennifer Bexley from the Ronald McDonald House and Miracle on the Bay, Melissa McNichol, the Executive Director of Rappahoe Children's Foundation, Jay and Brooke Nicholas from Aubrey's Army, Barry Strong Foundation, represented by Jennifer Barry, representatives from the USA Women and Children's Hospital, the Oncology Physicians, MAP Child and Family Life Program, Webb Jackson, representing the Joy of Life on the Gulf Coast, iHeartRadio, and St. Jude's Memphis to Mobile Runners. Y'all can come down to the podium. And if one or more of you would like to make some remarks, we'll give you an opportunity to do that. Okay. The proclamation reads, whereas every September we mark Childhood Cancer Awareness Month to educate and bring awareness to this issue and highlight the need for more funding for research. And whereas every day in the United States, 47 children across all ages, ethnic groups, and social economic backgrounds are diagnosed with cancer. And whereas while the overall survival rate for childhood cancer has increased, for many more rare childhood cancers, the survival rate remains low. And whereas resources in Mobile to help children and families with cancer include treatment at the USA Children's and Women's Hospital, housing at Ronald McDonald House of Mobile, support at Rappahoe Children's Retreat Foundation, awareness and fundraising events hosted by Aubrey's Army Foundation, Very Strong Foundation, iHeartRadio, Joy of the Life on the Gulf Coast, Miracle on the Bay, and St. Jude's Memphis to Mobile Runners. And whereas now more than ever, it is important that we acknowledge the devastating impact this disease has on our children and their families. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby officially proclaim September 2024 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Mobile. Thank you very much for what you do. Congratulations.
I would just like to say on behalf of everyone here that, excuse me, we really appreciate you guys bringing it, out in the open. For many people, childhood cancer is a 30-second commercial that's kind of sad and you kind of move on. But for many people in this room and standing behind me, it's a 365-day-a-year fight, or maybe there's something you have to live with the rest of your life. So, you guys bringing it out there and letting people see that there are kids that fight in this, that maybe have even lost the battle. We really appreciate it on behalf of everyone, all these foundations that join us and help us, and the community that raise money for this. Like the Mayor said, it's very poorly underfunded, and sad. These are our future that we're shortchanging. So thank you again.
For those in the audience who don't know, that's Jay and his wife, Brooke Nicholas. They were the parents of Aubrey, who y'all remember passed away several years ago after a battle of cancer. Thank you, Jay, and thank all of you. And I can meet y'all outside in just a couple of minutes. The next proclamation is the GYN Cancer Awareness Month. The proclamation attendees are Sheila McElhaney and Janelle Loban. If y'all could come to the podium. And anybody else that may be with you.
I'm Sheila. I am going to give the floor to Miss Katrina Kennedy. She is a member of our Sisterhood of Survivorship, so athlete on short.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to read the proclamation, then you make your remarks.
Yes,
That's
sir.
okay? Okay. Whereas gynecologic GYN cancers are among the leading cancer killers of women diagnosed, and more than 33,000 women will die from these diseases this year. And whereas the Laura Crandall Brown Foundation and their State of Teal initiatives brings awareness of all GYN cancers throughout the state of Alabama, and whereas the health and well-being of women in our state and the city of Mobile are enhanced by increased awareness of GYN cancers and their symptoms and treatments, and whereas it is crucial that all women in our state and the city of Mobile take an active role in developing healthy habits and undergoing regular medical examinations so that any occurrence of these diseases ages. And whereas we reflect upon the memory of those lost to these diseases, the bravery of those currently battling these diagnoses, and the need for increased awareness, screening, and research, and encourage all citizens to work together to raise awareness of GYN cancers. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby officially proclaim September 2024 as Gynecological Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Mobile. Congratulations, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. I would like to say to Mayor Stimson and his staff and the City Council, thank you for this honor and for your commitment to raising awareness about gynecological cancers. We are deeply grateful for this recognition and for the support from the community of Orange Beach. This proclamation in Mobile County, this proclamation serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of educating our community about gynecological cancers, as more than 125,000 women will be diagnosed and more than 33,000 women will die from these diseases this year. By raising awareness, we can help ensure that more women know about the symptoms, the importance of early detection, and the resources available for support and treatment. This recognition will help amplify our efforts to spread vital information, support research initiatives, and encourage women to take charge of their health. It also highlights the collective responsibility we all share in supporting these affected by gynecological cancers and working towards a better future, prevented and treated. So on behalf of the who partnered with Sisterhoods of Survivors, SOS, and other gynecological survivors, we accept this proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for your hard work. Madam Clerk?
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Agenda is adopted.
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on September 11th through the 13th on Union Avenue and October 19th in Public Safety Memorial Park.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Appeal passes.
Public hearings, today is a public hearing to consider adoption of the 2024-2025 General Fund, Capital Improvement Fund, and Convention Center Fund budgets.
This one will finish the public hearing for this particular said item. Is anyone present that would like to address the council on this item? Anyone present?
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Good to see you back. What's the time allotment? Is this 5 minutes for the, okay. To the citizens and stakeholders. To be added to this list over the years, whether that be for personal reasons, whether that be for maybe they don't know how to get through the application process, or maybe they do not know how to meet the requirements that are necessary as well to even qualify for these resources. And I think it's imperative if we want to see the quality of life improved in the city that we have these opportunities available for everyone who has a sound plan to provide. So let's look at where we're going to get this. I was shocked to learn that there was over $1 million increase to the executive personnel of the city coming out of our CEO's office. I think that is the first place that we can begin. I think it's imperative that we have department heads, we have all these other city employees that I think are doing the best job that they can do under the conditions that are here. And I think that it shows that we can do more when we're investing directly into the people. So the first $1 million that we can get is right from there, because that's where that increase came from. I saw that this year there was a increase in the sales tax revenue dealing with the CIP, but yet the amount that we're allotting into our CIP projects has decreased. Now this part is extremely confusing to me. And for the people who may not understand what that means, is we collected more money from the citizens, and instead of putting that back into our drainage and to our sewage problems that we talk about each week, we have chosen to invest less funding in that. So that makes absolutely no sense to me. However, I would like to propose this, and this is probably boldest that anyone would ever tout here at this podium. I would rather see us even move from maybe 1 to 2 years of where we do the miscellaneous discretionary spending for each district, and where we put that, what is that, 28 million then plus the additional 20 million on that directly to drainage. Let's see what we can do for 2 years if we can spend that allotment each time right there. Now, we're looking for the next set of resources. Like again, I said, we're going to have to take a little more time at this next week. And then, we have a little bit of economic discussion later today. I think we can find another nearly $600,000 if we got rid of OPR. And we see that, and I say this for this, one, because the Zombie Act gives investigatory powers to the legislative body. So I don't understand even why that body is doing any investigations to begin with. And now we're seeing all this other stuff that's coming out in the news, how there may have been some irregularities and some things that I don't think were up to par, we'll say, using a golfing term. And it would be for the best interest of the city if we would look at removing that anyways. And if we have a public safety department, which I'll do more speaking on that because I signed up for public safety in the future, because there's a lot of resources there too. But I think if we take the resources that have been increased from the CEO's office, and we remove OPR, and we actually spend the CIP properly, we can see the increase that we need there, and as well add those money for the performance contracts. We'll continue later. Thanks, you on the floor.
Is anyone else that would like to address the council on this particular said item?
Good morning, Sabrina Mass. I too would like to chime in on agreement with Mr. Hill. It seems like the OPR is a big conflict in the community. I, for one, have a problem with it because of the situation that we know has taken place in the past with the chief prying in the situation. Now, as far as the budget goes, that definitely can be something they need to remove and think about. And I also would like to say the citizens would also need to know that the public safety, is it my understanding that they're getting raises, public safety on this side? Because for what? And I have nothing personal against anybody. This is business. For what? They have caused more confusion in this city than anything. So what for? I'm not sure that we understand that in the community. A raise to do what? Because most of that money went to some investigations. That was money that had to be spent to get to the truth. So why are they getting a raise for chaos? That needs to stop. I believe that people think that we're some fools out here. And we keep up with this budget. We don't have to be on an administration or sit in a seat to have knowledge on a budget. We are taxpayers. We have brains and we have intellect and education as well. So this budget, and from my understanding, did they say last week that Mobile was in a $12.5 million deficit and debt? See, it's too much money being moved around. It has got to stop. The citizens are suffering. The districts are suffering. District 1, 2, and 3 are suffering. We want to have communities that are invested into our communities that are majority Black, where we take pride in our community. This has to do with the budget. We want to get some of the money. When are we going to get flowers and azaleas and trees and paved streets and businesses? And when are we going to grow and blossom in our districts? Are we not worthy of that? Because I am. The budget needs to be looked at thoroughly. And I'm thankful that the police and the fire are getting raises. They are well deserved. They protect our city. They put their lives on the line for our city. That should never be any question on who gets those raises, period. So when people stop being selfish and thinking about self, think about the people that are sacrificing in these streets because they may not make it home to their families. They deserve a raise. It shouldn't be court ordered from a lawsuit. It should be integrity and morals sitting on these seats that say these people deserve raises. Y'all got to do better with the money in Mobile. Y'all got to think about the people in Mobile. This is serious stuff we're dealing with out here. The economy is already jacked up right now, but as a city, you have it in your hands to do what's best for the city, the citizens. And I am definitely against any raises to an administration that hasn't done anything but cause chaos. Can you answer this to me? Because y'all don't never answer, but I'm asking the question. When people get raises, it's because of their merits and what they do on a job that gets them raises and promotions, at least the world. So people just go and put on paper, oh, I want a raise, and you just give it to them? That's weird. Y'all got to stop. Thank you.
Is there anyone else present that would like to address the council on this particular said item?
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Christopher McGraw.
Is Mr. McGraw present? Okay. Madam Clerk.
Dr. Sharon Ingram.
Dr. Ingram present. Okay. Madam Clerk.
Laurie Hunter.
Ms. Hunter present.
Reggie Hill.
Thank you again, Madam City Clerk, and greetings again to the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile. Reggie Hill is my name. I rise today to address those issues. Let's begin with the public housing, affordable housing, all these matters. And the gentleman from District 1 for making those statements last week, which I believe were very trying to say amongst his colleagues, in which he was able to explain the truth of the matter of how this issue is more about money than anything. And the idea that if we have the resources in place, we've got to do better about figuring out how we do that. I still stand with the idea that I don't think capital resources should go towards this. As I mentioned in my previous presentation earlier today, I think that the drainage is more important for those resources to be utilized for, and that's something that we should consider. I would like to see how we could partner with the neighborhood development and see what we can do, getting the state and federal grants that are available out there. Maybe we just do a little harder research in there. But what's interesting to me, there was a hot mic this morning, and apparently anything from the administration that is even equitable to what it is Mr. Carroll wants to offer. So that's an issue. How is that we're going to say we're going to go and tackle something, and then when you go to the meeting and you touted all this stuff at the microphone that you're going to do, and then you get in the meeting, you don't do nothing. That makes no sense to me. But yet we're going to come out here and portray it as if we really care about the issue. So that's why I wanted to be sure that it's not personal to Mr. Carroll, because yet we're still seeing nothing. And that is a concern. And people are in a serious state of discomfort, inconvenience, and this with this housing. This public safety, again, the gentleman from District 1 posed a question about the training. Now, the interim chief came up and said there were thousands of hours of training that they're going to be doing all this kind of stuff, but we couldn't identify what one of the hours was going to be. That's the part that's frustrating to me. I don't understand how we can't get to this piece, and then we're spending $8.9 million in tasers and stuff and just tasing people recklessly and all these types of things, and then we don't have any idea what's going to go on with the training. That's ridiculous. And this is why people are upset that the chief, Brian, is not here. Because things like that, the bureaucracy piece would not be in place. All right, so the economic development, I will say this. We're just going to have to wait really until 2025. Because unfortunately, unless we get some serious motion going in a different direction, we've already basically committed $300 million, probably $500 million to a structure. And we're talking about what we don't have money for. For the Civic Center, which is still in court. And so we're touting as if it's not, as if this stuff is just going on, and we're still going through legal litigation. So let's not get in this stuff about just finessing the people. Please be transparent with the numbers about what's really happening if we actually want to see the best quality of life for the city of Mobile. And again, like I said, we'll continue this next week. Thanks for you on the floor.
Mr. President,
Carol.
let me address the hot mic this morning so that the general public is extremely clear. The hot mic this morning had to do with point of clarity and to make sure that the ball, which is in my court now in the revisions and edits to the affordable housing and neighborhood moves forward. And that is so that the wording that's written and any compromises that are done doesn't create any strife or fighting between two parties, to make sure that we're both speaking the same language moving forward. So to say that the administration doesn't have anything would be an inadequate statement, because the ball is now in my court, not theirs, because they sent me over their resolution, which needs some, or they have asked for additional information to be written into it, or edits to be made by me and the people that are working with us. So as a point of clarity to the statement that was made, that is what happened this morning. Me saying point blank that there's an additional information that's needed to be added, and the administration saying to me, please add that information and then give it back to us so that we can also look at it. So general public, please don't be dismayed by what you hear. Please believe what the leaders are telling you and what we are saying as we move forward for the betterment of our communities. There's nothing more dear to any of us than being able to revitalize neighborhoods, that have been underserved for a while. Thank you, Mr. President.
Madam Clerk.
Sabrina Mass regarding Resolution 14775.
Sabrina Mass. See, I just got through talking about revitalization. How many years did it take to revitalize? I've been here 18 years. I mean, when am I going to see some flowers and some plants and some paved streets? My street, I've been asking for 10 years to get my little old subdivision paved. I ain't seen not one piece of tar. So stop the plan. And I am definitely against 14775. And I know, listen, it's too much chaos going on. There's confusion and misunderstanding on every level. And why would you put something in place? Why do you have to have this new 14775 to revitalize the community whenever the administration and the mayor already have things in place to revitalize communities? Just take what they already have and move on with it. Why all these different things? Why are building a board? This is crazy. It sounds like some thievery about to go on to me, and I'm just going to keep it real. I don't like my tax dollars being paid with and paid. This is crazy. Leave stuff the way it is until there's some real clarity. I mean, District 4, he already read the state, the city. We heard all that, and I agree totally with what he said. Leave things alone. Stop trying to move things in place you want it to be. Some things need to be left alone. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Fix what you have. This is crazy. I don't want no private citizens and people asking about where my tax dollars going to go. Who gives them the right to make a decision about where our tax dollars going to the community? Y'all know how to do it. Just stop it. And I don't agree with this. It seems like everything that the citizens come and go against, y'all sit there and pass it like we just stand here like we are some puppets. I am not a clown. And I'm sick and tired of playing around. This 14775 is a bunch of mess. You already have things in place to revitalize the community. Mayor Stimson ran off those things when he ran for mayor about revitalization. We've seen the videos. We've seen it. Use what you have and move forward. Why come up with these lame brain plans? It's just crazy. I believe y'all think we just don't know what's happening. We definitely know what's happening. So no, 14775 needs to lay down, lay flat, and vote against it. I'm with that. No vote. Listen to the people sometime. God, we're tired of talking. Listen to us. We don't have to be sitting in the seat to make sound decisions and give sound advice. When are our tax dollars and our voices going to matter and count? When? In 2025? Because we're going to come out in 2025. And we're trying to beg and beg and beg and ask people, listen to us. Listen to us. It's not about nothing personal. This is business. Coming up with all these, revitalization. Well, you've been sitting there for 3 years. You ain't revitalized nothing as far as I see. What have you revitalized in 3 years? A whole bunch of chaos and mess. Leave stuff the way it is. Move on. Give us something that we want sometime. Please.
Mr. President.
Mr. Carroll.
Thank you. First, let me say, Carmen Lang and Eric Finley, and to all of you that are here from the campground today, who are in the Reverend over here from State Street, and everybody who wants revitalization in our underserved neighborhoods that have been there for so long. For those that know that there are overgrown lots in the campground, for those that know there are houses that have fallen down, For those of you that know that the neighborhoods have been underserved for over 50 years, somebody said that they were here for 18 years. I've lived here for 55 years. I grew up here. I've watched neighborhoods become depressed. I've watched them have crime elements in them. I've helped to restore them. I've walked the streets helping to clean up them. If you are so against revitalization of neighborhoods that are minorities, then you be against that. But for those people that are here that afford, I'm with you. And I'm with you getting us there any way that we can. And if the administration, you want to complain about that, they've been here for 12 years. 12 years trying to get to a process that we are now trying to get to. And right now, after 12 years, we're closer than we have ever been between the council and administration finding a way to get there. If you're against putting money back into black neighborhoods, then be against it, because that's what I just heard. I am against putting money back into black neighborhoods because we don't want that type of ordinance in our neighborhood. We don't want you putting money in our neighborhoods in that way. The whole reason we got here is because of a system in trying to get there. But maybe that whole system won't work. So now we're compromising that system to get there. I think that's what I heard. I mean, and I see y'all shaking your head saying, yeah, that's what we heard. So for those of you that understand that we have a paramount problem in the center of our city, and it doesn't just start with revitalization. It actually started with us, the people that live there, the people who worked so hard to attain an education, to get to a point to where we were making money, to get to the point that we're making more than $80,000. Our kids moved out of the community, and we failed our own selves. So now it's time for us to do what it takes to revitalize our neighborhoods and to bring them back. It's that time. And I'm with every one of you that wants to do that, no matter if it's in the campground, the Bottom, Maysville, Mobile Terrace, Oakdale, I don't care, Navco, wherever it is. I am with you. And no matter how we get there, whether it's a compromising plan between the administration, myself, and the council, or if it's another route to get there. So once again, please don't be misled. Understand that the object is to revitalize our neighborhoods at the heart of our city and other places that totally need it. And so many other things and problems that we have. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Madam Clerk.
Resolutions, CIP resolutions held over. 08830, approved purchase order to Game Time for playground equipment for Crawford Murphy Park.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. We've been waiting for a while to get this money into Crawford Murphy Park with play structures. Just the other day, I was also asked about whether or not we were going to do a spray pad in the park itself, even though there's funds appropriated for that in the series of years coming up. Let's please be prudent to know that sometimes these monies and budget amendments put them off to another year or the next year. But I'm glad to see this on the agenda, knowing that we have additional infrastructure coming from and community use.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
Resolutions held over. 14775, approve an application seeking permission to incorporate a capital improvement cooperative district and authorizing such incorporation.
Move delay over till September 24th.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President. You guys have just heard that because of the communications between the administration and myself in getting to a compromising language in which we're working very hard to do that. And I think we're extremely close right now. No, I don't think. I know we're extremely close. Needed to move forward. The administration has asked that we lay this over for a couple of weeks so that we can make sure that we're all talking the same language and everything is in place. So I thank you and the council for allowing us a couple of more weeks as we get this down to the point of the pencil and out to the general public, and let's move forward.
Another discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
If there are no objections, I'll read the 818, authorize agreement with Jaguar Consulting for HVAC upgrades at the History Museum of Mobile. 08819, authorize addendum to agreement with Samsara for draft cams and increased purchase amount. 01820, Authorize agreement with E. Carnell Malone Corporation for Western Administration Building re-roofing. 01821, 822, 823, 824, and 825 are authorizing non-reimbursable agreements.
So I just want the folks in Magnolia Grove, especially the neighborhood that would back up to this proposed development, know that we are working out any concerns and questions that they might have if this proposed subdivision is built, while not impeding the progress that the builders would have if in fact they proceed, because the city of Sims also has a planning commission, so they have to get approvals, that kind of thing. But our concern, of course, is the neighborhood that would back up to a proposed subdivision, and we are working on that.
Any other discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
Consent resolutions being introduced 03839 through 6849.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of these resolutions as read.
Second.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Rules waived. Madam Clerk.
03839, appoint Michael Looney to the Citizens Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. 31840, authorize the mayor to apply, accept, and receive a grant from the National Weather Service Program Office for a comprehensive emergency action plan. 37841, 842, 843, 844, 845, 846. Recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer table wine off-premises only license to Quick Pick on St. Stephen's Road, for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to Elevate Sports Bar and Grill on Dolphin Street, for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to Sugarfoot on Dolphin Island Parkway, for issuance of a special retail more than 30 days license to Hampton Inn and Suites Mobile on West I-65 Service Road, for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to El Kamal on Schillinger Road South for issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off premises only license to Cody One Market on Cody Road North. 847, 848. Determine an appropriation to Foxfire Neighborhood Association and Lily B. Williamson High School and Middle Grace Preparatory Academy serve a public purpose and approving payment. 849. Approve award of special bonus to Administrative Services Employee of the Month.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
CIP resolutions being introduced 01850 through 21851.
For 1 week.
Resolutions being introduced 01852 through 6864.
Per council rules, these will also lay over for 1 week.
Call for public hearings 41865. Call for public hearing to consider assenting to the vacation of a portion of right-of-way located on Ellis Avenue scheduled October the 8th.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public hearing is called.
Announcements.
District 1, Councilman Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. This past weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the Battle of District 1, UMS Wright versus LaFleur. It was a great atmosphere. UMS Wright won, so congratulations to them. But it was a packed house and just a great opportunity to see families come out and support the young people, from the band to the football to the cheerleaders. But it was a great time. And then this past weekend, I also truly want to thank the St. Stephen's Love Ministries. It was businesses on St. Stephen's Road, churches come together to support the event, back to school event, Stop the Violence Rally. Myself, Councilman Carroll, both supported this event. It splits District 1 and District 2, but we had a great time. Again, we will be sending more information for our community meetings coming forward. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Penn. District 2, Councilman Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, let me offer our condolences to the Pinckney family and Mr. Isaac Pinckney of Mobile, who was a teacher, educator, professor. He was 92 years old and just passed, a member of Big Zion, AME Zion, and an instrumental member of the city of Mobile. Some of us are too young to remember his input into the city and what he did to help make things better for us around here and his family. So our condolences to the Pinckney family today. Also, Mr. President, this weekend, or I should say last Friday, I had the opportunity to attend the longest reigning, I should say, I call it combat because, I was a football player, but the longest reigning rivalry in the state of Alabama between two high schools, Murphy and McGill. May I congratulate my alma mater because it made me feel as if all things were right in the world when we won and beat Murphy for the 10th year in a row, which is a true decade. But may I also say that Murphy still leads us in this rivalry because it goes back, I think, as far as the 30s, and they still have a few on us, and I think we're catching up to them at some point in time. But let me congratulate McGill, let me congratulate the students, and let me congratulate Murphy, too, for a good game and great sports. This weekend, I had a chance, as Councilman Penn said, had a chance to attend a great community event on St. Stephen's Road at St. Charles Street. We all know that with the administration, we've been working very hard with Keisha to clean up St. Charles Street, to get rid of the blighted properties over there, the vacant lots and all those things, and had a lot of help coming to us from Sanford Davis before he passed at Ebenezer. I'd like to see us continue that effort to clean that street and that community and help us deter the crime over there, and whatever I can do to help foster that, I'll be glad to do it from my seat. Let me thank Ms. James for putting together the event. It was great. The fire department was there, various health department issues, various community funding institutions talked about financing and credit and health. So it was a big help to the community over there, and a lot of resources provided for people in the community that need them that don't normally get there on a Saturday. So great weekend, big weekend. Also had a chance to get out on the river this weekend, Mr. President, and talking to the administration. That boathouse is still in the water, and I don't know. I saw the grant on the agenda today, and I know we're trying to get those things out, but that is a real dangerous spot. And I know it's in District 4 right now, but when we move the lines, it's going to be District 3. And I mean, we already have enough big issues in District 1, 2, and 3. And, that would be a horrible spot in the dark at night if somebody would have hit a piece of that boat in that river out there, or a piece of that boathouse. So as you guys continue to move those items out, I request that you please take a big look at that one little boathouse out there. Either we pushing the owner or the property owner, whoever, but let's please try to get that out as soon as we can. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. District 4, Councilman Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to remind everybody who's paying attention or listening or watching that 311 is your way to communicate to the executive branch. If you don't report it, chances are it's not going to get fixed. So I want to encourage everybody who's paying attention right now as we approach approval of this budget to go out, find whatever issue it is, big or small, report it to 311. Use the app, use the website. You can take a picture of it and send it directly to the administration for them to see, and then there will be a line of sight created to the issue, and we have something to follow up on specifically and directly your particular issue. So please, as we approach this budget, we are allocating millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to services to the citizenry, and it's important that you make your concerns known to your government by way of the 311 app. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Reynolds. District 5, Councilman Davis. District 6, Councilman Woods.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Only announcement I have is a reminder that we have a community meeting, District 6 community meeting, September 24th at 5:30 at the Connie Hudson Senior Center. Also, too, just kind of a couple updates. Had an opportunity to go and attend the grand opening of Wawa. So District 6 is now home to the only Wawa in the city. So definitely exciting. Glad they are calling District 6 home, and also had a chance to go to the new reopening of Walmart 4648. So just a couple of points. Just want to say thank you to both of those teams for having me there and inviting me. Also, one other point that it's a common problem, the issues with the splash pad at Medal of Honor Park. Do want to provide an update. Was given to me this morning. That's being looked at. The manufacturer's actually coming, going to walk through some training with the city team, and also look through some best practices. So hopefully we can see maybe a solution moving forward with the ever-present issue of splash pad at Medal of Honor Park. Thank you all.
Thank you, Councilman Woods. District 7, Vice President Gregory.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to give everybody an update on Ziegler Boulevard. If you live along Ziegler, or if that is your east-west route back and forth to work, you've noticed that those 5 lanes are finally open. The cones are gone. We still have some work to be done and complete, but that is mostly just working on those entrances and exits into the neighborhoods. Of course, that still has to be done. They have to be smoothed out. That's coming. The final striping still has to be done. Some cleaning up will need to be done. You've seen all along the right-of-ways. The weeds have grown up, some past the stop signs, that sort of thing. Some of the weeds even look like trees. So that needs to be done, as well as some other cleaning on the medians and the sidewalks. But that is all still ahead. So good news, Ziegler widening is nearly complete. And you need to also, if that is your route, east and west, be aware that it's nice and smooth, wide open lanes. Remember what the speed limit is, because we will have police officers out there monitoring to make sure that nobody is taking advantage. So again, that's coming up very soon to be complete. In the meantime, in the near future, don't know exactly when this is going to happen, you will see some other trucks out there, some heavy equipment. They will be on the grassy side of the right-of-way. This is going to be Spire. They are coming in to do some more work that was not done prior to us doing the widening and the asphalt work. So Spire will be out there, but they will be on the grassy side of the right-of-ways. They will not be on the street. They will not be cutting holes in our brand new paved street. So don't worry about that. And before we go today, I want to say a special hello to my friends from the Mobile Botanical Gardens who were here with us today, board members and master gardeners. Good to see you all here. Look forward to working with you all much more in the future. Thank you for what you do at the Mobile Botanical Gardens.
Thank you, Vice President. And greetings to the citizens of District 3, especially to the Odell community. On September the 26th, we will be having a community engagement meeting at Taylor Park, 1050 Baltimore Street at 6 o'clock p.m. This is a very important meeting, and we will be discussing the future of Taylor Park and inviting all the citizens, especially in the Odell community, to please come out. So Thursday evening at 6 o'clock p.m. Again, it will take place at Taylor Park at 1050 Baltimore Street. Anything from the administration?
Motion to adjourn.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Means adjourned.